Hello student, welcome to my class. Today we will be learning on level of testing, remaining portions, system testing and acceptance testing. I am Sri Debashish Nanda, lecturer, post Cuttack. So in my class I am going to cover among the four. We have already covered unit testing and integration testing. Now we will proceed to learn what exactly system testing is and what exactly acceptance testing is. So let us first move to system testing. Once all the modules are integrated, the system is ready for a full-fledged testing. There are various approaches used for system testing. To start with, the system has to be tested for its functionality. This is done by going through the system requirement specification document, and for each requirement, carry out the test cases design. Execute the test cases and compare the expected results with the actual results. So what actually it means? Whenever we are going to develop a software according to the specification given by the customer or the user, we are building up a system requirement specification document, and for each requirement we are writing something on that document, carry out the test case design, execute the test cases and compare the expected results. In addition to the functional testing, the system has to be tested for its non-functional requirements. Whatever we have tested, that was functional requirements, and now we are going to know about the non-functional requirement, such as these are 10 non-functional requirements of system testing. Number 1, performance requirement. Number 2, accessibility to physically handicapped persons. Number 3, portability. Number 4, security. Number 5, reliability. Number 6, safety. Number 7, conformance to the national or international standards. Next one, interoperability with one or other hardware software. Next, conformance to any legal or statutory requirements. So we'll go one by one, and I will just tell you what is performance requirement. The software which is now will be designed, what will be the performance and what are the requirement to give the performance. Next one, accessibility to physically handicapped person. The software which is designed should be able to give access for operation to physically handicapped persons. If it is not there, then I think it is not appropriate. Third one is portability. Portability means the software should be taken from one computer to another computer and can be used there without any kind of hindrance. That is called portability. That means the system which is designed should move from one place to other without any problem. Next one, security. Security is a great concern in our daily lives also. So in this system, what we will be doing, when a user is using the system, he must be secured. That means the data should not be leaked or data should not be misused through the systems So that is called the security. Next is reliability. What is reliability? The system should be reliable to all the users, whoever uses the system. Next is safety, and the other one is conformance to national or international standard. Conformance means it must conform to the standards prescribed by different organizations in national or international scenario. So next one is interoperability with other hardware and software. Interoperability means suppose the system is designed by the system engineer by using a PC, then we have interoperability means the software should be used in laptops or tabs without any difference. So next one is conformance to any legal or statutory requirements. So it must conform to the legal specification given by the governments. So that is the conformance to any legal and statutory requirements. So now we can see the system testing through this figure. You can see there are different modules, all are interconnected, and this is the requirement given by the user for this system testing. So this side it will be given inputs, and by these total system outcome will come, and event also is given to this system testing. So now we'll move to acceptance testing. What is this acceptance testing in software testing? After the system testing is completed in your premises, the software has to be approved by the customer. What does it mean? It means that the software is tested where it is designed first. That means design first means in the production center it is first tested, then the software has to be approved by the customer. That means the software is sent to the customer for testing and he must be satisfied with the software design. Next, the customer will carry out a testing which is called acceptance testing, and if there are no errors or defects found, then the customer will pay the amount. Means he has ordered a specific software for his requirement by giving some specifications. When we have designed and completed the system, we have tested and handed over it to the customer so that he also will test the system and will be satisfied. Then we will get the money. That means customer will pay the amount. If we encounter problems during this testing, the customer will be unhappy and he will carry out the testing more rigorously next time. Acceptance testing can be done either at the developer's or client premises. That means the acceptance testing is done by calling the customer to the premises, or the software is taken to the client premises and used there before his different persons involved in the development of the system. Next, depending on the client requirement and contractual obligation, the acceptance testing may be of different types. So what are these types? we are going to learn next. So you can see I have given a figure where I have tried to start from the development of the system. So first you can see this side, first development, first unit is tested. If some errors are there, then unit design is changed or modified. Then again, if it is completed, then it will move to next level, that is integration testing, which we have already discussed. Then it will go to system testing. So system testing is done by seeing the system specification, and if it is all right, we will move to acceptance testing. Acceptance testing is done by seeing the requirements given by the customer. If it is all correct, then we are going for release testing. That means the final test we are doing, that is release testing. Then it will go for business case. Now we will move to different types of acceptance testing. So what are these types? User acceptance testing is the number one testing we have to do. The user acceptance testing is carried out at the developers or users premises based on an acceptance test plan. Next, number two type is operational acceptance testing. The software is installed in the actual working environment and the performance observed over a period of time to check how the software meets the user operational needs. This is called operational acceptance testing. That means the software is taken to the premises of the customer for which it is designed, and in his environment it is tested. So next, third one is contractual fulfillment testing. If there are any special contractual obligations such as environmental testing for the hardware, testing the system for airborne application such as in aircraft, then testing is done to fulfill these obligations. So if we are designing something for an aircraft, then it has to be tested on airborne applications. Number four type is regulatory acceptance testing, or you can call it conformance testing. The software may be required to conform to international standards or meet some government specification or requirement. In such a case, the necessary testing is done. This testing may be done at third party laboratories or government institution or laboratories. So what is this third party laboratory where it will be tested? We are having suppose a Bureau of Indian Standards. So that is a third party or government laboratory. There we can send the software to be tested for its loopholes or design deficiencies. Now, user acceptance testing. What does it mean? Acceptance testing is also known as user acceptance testing, or UAT. Is the last phase of the software testing process. UAT is the last phase. That means after this, the software will roll out from the production center to the customer. During UAT, actual software users test the software to make sure it can handle required tasks in real world scenario according to the specifications. So they have given the specifications. Now during the UAT they are to test and see if it actually fits their requirements. UAT is one of the final and critical software project procedures that must occur before newly developed software is rolled out to the market. How to do UAT testing? So user acceptance testing or UAT, otherwise known as beta application or end user testing, it is known by three other names: beta testing, application testing or end user testing. So what is this beta testing? Let us take for example, in our Android mobile there are some different icons or different softwares installed from time to time by the Play Store. So there, when a new software comes out for Android, we can see it will be known as the name of the software, and in the bracket it is written beta. That means you are the first person the Play Store is going to give you to test the particular software. So after that, if any loopholes are found or any bugs are found, then that is referred by the users of the mobile, Android mobile, and it is referred to the Android system for change. So that is called beta testing. Application testing or end user, all are same, is considered the last phase in the web development process, the one before final installation of the software on the client side or final distribution of it. So you can see a ladder type user acceptance testing process. First we have to do analysis of requirement, then we are going for UAT plan creation, then after completion of that particular process we are going for identify test scenarios, and then we are going for creation of UAT test cases, then test data preparation, then test run, then confirm business objectives. So these are all 7 processes which are undertaken by user acceptance testing process by the user. So user acceptance testing process, we can see point wise: analysis of business requirement, creation of UAT test plan, identify test scenarios, create UAT test centers, preparation of test data or production like data, run the test cases, record the results and confirm business objectives. So now we will move to the steps involved in user acceptance testing process. So first, step 1, analysis of business requirements. One of the most important activities in the UAT is to identify and develop test scenarios. These test scenarios are derived from the following document. What does it mean? In a business environment, some requirement always comes, and by seeing the business requirement, we have to collect data from project charter, business use cases, process flow diagrams and business requirement documents, and system requirements specification. All collections will be done from all these kind of things, and analysis will be done from business requirements. Next step is creation of UAT plan. Step 2. The UAT test plan outlines the strategy that will be used to verify and ensure an application meets its business requirements. If documents entry and exit criteria for UAT, test scenarios and test cases, approach and timeliness of testing. Then comes step 3. Here we have to identify test scenarios and test cases. Identify the test scenarios with respect to high level business process and create test cases with clear test steps. Test cases should sufficiently cover most of the UAT scenarios. Business use cases are input for creating the test cases. Next, what is the step? Step 4 is preparation of test data. It is the best advice to use live data for UAT. Data should be scrambled for privacy and security reasons. Testers should be familiar with the database flow. So what is this live data? Live data means from the daily life the data is collected, which is then inputted to the system for testing purpose. So then the step 5 is run and record the results. Run and record the results. So here one has to execute test cases and report bugs if any. Report bugs if any. Retest bugs once fixed. Test management tools can be used for execution. Execute test cases and report bugs. It means that we have to prepare our test case, put it into the software system, then we'll find some bugs if any, then we'll report that bugs. Step 6 is confirm business objectives met. Business analysts or UAT testers need to send a sign-off mail after the UAT testing. After sign-off, the product is good to go for production. Deliverables for UAT testing are test plan, UAT scenarios and test cases, test results and defect logs. So who is going to confirm? Business analysts are going to confirm who are the actual UAT testers. They will confirm that everything is okay and give a mail after the UAT testing. So then we can go for production of the software. पिलाने बर्तमान आजिर क्लास एठी आमे सरी जाइछि आउ असाइनमेंट क्वेश्चन मु तम मन पई देइछि जदि कार किछि क्वेरीज थाए एई सब्जेक्ट उपरे आज मु जा पढ़ैली मोर व्हाट्सएप नंबर रे मते कांटेक्ट करि परिबे। धन्यवाद।